Hi everyone. Thanks for joining us for Access City Council. I'm your host, Diana Paul, Deputy Director for the City of Las Vegas Office of Communications, filling in for David Riggleman. Coming up on the show, a bold approach to tackling homelessness in our community. We'll discuss a project underway that will transform lives, plus a super volunteer helping those who can't speak for themselves. Joining us to discuss this and more is Ward 1 Councilman and Mayor Pro Tem Brian Knudsen. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. Thanks so much for substituting.
I know, I'm excited. Thank you for letting me join you on the show today. We have a lot of great, important information to talk about, so I'm really excited.
Me too.
If you don't know where Ward 1 is located, here's a map outlining the area. Councilman, you represent a wide area, west of downtown, all the way up to the northwest, and it's growing every day.
And it's the shape of a reindeer if you look at it.
Hey, I never noticed that
That's my
before.
favorite thing.
That's great. All right, well, first up, a project transforming the way we address homelessness in this community. Construction is underway on Campus for Hope. This $200 million public-private partnership will offer a pathway to long-term housing, employment, wellness, and ultimately a stable life. We're pleased to welcome the CEO of Campus for Hope, Kim Jeffries. Kim, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So glad you could join us. Now, Kim, you previously led the Haven for Hope in San Antonio, which has been extremely successful. Tell us about what made that model so successful and what you hope to bring to it here in Las Vegas.
Yes, I had the opportunity to run the campus in San Antonio, and two things really made it incredibly successful. One was the sense of community that is built on the campus. So giving people who have been in survival mode on the streets an opportunity to come to a campus where they can take a breath, where they can exhale and know their basic needs are going to be met, but then they're going to have access to all these other services. And so they get to kind of rebuild their sense of community and their sense of belonging in a safe environment. So it gives them an environment for that. The second thing was the co-location of services. So Campus for Hope, just like Haven for Hope in San Antonio, won't do this alone. We're going to need community partners, so government entities, people who are already in this space doing incredible work in this community to come to the table to provide medical, dental, vision services, behavioral health, substance use, childcare, anything and everything that somebody might need to rebuild their lives will be on the campus. And that's what really made it successful, is that access to services that people have on the campus.
How do you see that comparing to what's going to happen here in Las Vegas? Will it be the same model? Are there maybe some different challenges you face here that maybe you didn't in San Antonio?
Yeah, this community is different. So you can't take what we did in San Antonio and plop it down here and expect it to be exactly the same and work. There is a deeper affordable housing crisis here than we experienced in San Antonio. And so we're going to have to get creative about our housing interventions and shared housing and things like that we didn't necessarily do. But it gives us an opportunity to be innovative here. I think the other thing is there are there are more young adults experiencing homelessness here than we had in San Antonio. So 18 to 24-year-olds, many aging out of foster care. So creating a safe space for them on the campus that is exclusive for them and has some wraparound services will be necessary here.
Now, Councilman, you toured actually this facility in San Antonio a few years ago. What was your takeaway when you went and toured that?
You know what I think about when I toured San Antonio was thinking about the lack of resources we have here in Nevada. In Southern Nevada in particular, we're short about 50 to 60,000 units for people to live in. And one of the most common questions I get or requests that I get is to clean up the homeless problem. Clean it up, do something with them, get them out of my backyard. And the only answer I have is we have to build more. We have to have more resources. We have to have more boots on the ground as it relates to mental health and substance abuse, childcare, employment opportunities, and at the end of the day, we have to have more housing options. So when I think about San Antonio, I think more so about the fact that San Antonio had resources for folks, while here in Las Vegas we didn't, up until the last couple of years when we had generous donors come forward and the state come forward with a vision to build out a campus. And so I'm looking forward to being able to answer a call to say, if somebody's on the street, I have somewhere for them to go. And this isn't just the folks living in tents on the street corners. This is elderly being kicked out of apartments because they can no longer afford to live there. These are families and children. More and more now you're seeing children in our courtyard, which is not an appropriate place for anybody, especially a child. And so it'll be nice to have someone to call to say, I have a family that needs a place. Can you take them?
How do you feel Campus for Hope will fit in with our overall homeless ecosystem here in Las Vegas?
I think we have a fragile, broken ecosystem for individuals who are experiencing homelessness. And so this is an addition, and hopefully will add on to what is kind of frail and fragile now and build up a robust system where we can actually serve people.
Right. Since you've joined the team, what do you see as the current state of homelessness here in Las Vegas and how some of that might be addressed?
Yeah, we want to complement what's happening here. So there's some great low barrier shelters that are doing that work, but there's not that place where the families, the young adults, those elderly folks can go and get the services they need all in one place. And so I think that's really what we're trying to do, is be in the center of that ecosystem. And one of the benefits we saw in San Antonio is when you lift up something this large in the middle of the system, so 900 beds, so we're adding significant capacity to the system, it becomes the hub. It becomes the center of the system. And then it allows the system to build up around it. And then it becomes more mature. People work together, they collaborate more in this space. And so that's what we're looking to do, is complement what's happening here and add to and be additive to what's happening already in this community, to give more options to people. Mm-hmm.
You talked about how important partnerships are. We have a lot of providers here in Las Vegas. How has it been working with those providers here in the community and how they want to be part of this?
We've had an incredible reception, I would say, in this community. So partners in the space, not just in the homeless response space, but in the behavioral health space, in healthcare space, in childcare space, and after school, all of the things that we'll need, legal services, all of that on the campus. So we've been doing lunch and learns and meeting with potential partners in the community, and we'll do a request for partnerships in early 2026 to give people an opportunity to join us on the campus with their best services.
That's great. Can you tell us a little about the timeline? When will this Campus for Hope be open?
So we're scheduled to open in 2028, so the early part of 2028. So next year we'll spend finding out who the partners are going to be on campus, really working through that, finalizing our design, and we'll start vertical construction next summer and then be open in early 2028.
That's great. And for folks who may not know where the location, can you tell us where this is going to be located?
Yes, we're right off of Charleston and Community College and Jones, so right across the street from CSN, if you're familiar with that. They're going to be an amazing partner for us. We have 20 acres. It's state land. They're leasing the most northern 20 acres to us. And so there's some old buildings there that were built in the 60s and 70s, and we're going to tear all those down, and it's all going to be beautiful new construction for the area.
That's great. Well, we're really looking forward to this project, Councilman. Like you mentioned, you get a lot of phone calls, a lot of people looking for resources, so it sounds like this is really going to be a great resource for our community once it opens.
It definitely will, and it was a game changer in San Antonio, and I look forward to the same here in this community.
That's great. Well, thanks for joining us, and we look forward to hearing more about this. We need to take a quick break, but coming up, a super volunteer standing up for animals, and we'll introduce you to her all after this. Welcome back. Our conversation continues with Ward 1 Councilman and Mayor Pro Tem Brian Knudsen. And now a special guest. She's super committed to helping our four-legged friends, and she's never too busy to advocate for animals or volunteer at the Animal Foundation. We're excited to introduce Karna Gallegos to the show. Karna, welcome to Access City Council.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Happy to be here.
The Mayor Pro Tem invited you on the show because he was really impressed with how much you care about animals and how much time you're devoted to them at the Animal Foundation. So tell us a little bit about your journey at the Animal Foundation and all the things you do there.
My primary thing is just walking the dogs, because there are 168 dogs just on the adoption side that are in kennels that are available to get a walk, and they don't get a walk every day. And so I try to just get as many out as possible. I try to get like 5 to 6 per hour, just that time of them getting out of the kennel, sniffing around, playing in the play yard, getting hugs and kisses from me. It's so vital to their well-being and ultimately for them getting adopted. As an added bonus, when I'm there, I get a lot of steps in, so it's great.
Well, where does your passion come from? You have 5 dogs at home, right?
I do.
Okay, so where does your passion come for animals?
You know, I've just always loved animals. I've always had animals. Growing up, I can't imagine life without animals. The shelter dogs are really special to me, though, because they're just so innocent. They don't have a voice. They're there to no fault of their own. They just want to be loved and, have lots of love to give.
Yeah, we know the Animal Foundation has been facing overcrowding, and we're looking for more adoption. Councilman, you visited the Animal Foundation before. What would you tell people who maybe want to volunteer or are looking for somewhere that could possibly volunteer and make a difference in the community?
Okay, so here's how Karna came on the show. So there's a story behind it. So there's all stuff about the Animal Foundation in the media. Some of it's true, some of it's not true. And one day my husband came home, and Karna works with my husband, and he said, Karna thinks you need to do more. And so my response is, well, I think she should do more. And that's generally how I feel. Like, this is a community. This is how we partner together. Outside of homelessness, the most common question I get on a regular basis is, I want to give back to my community. How do I do it? And so I have a whole career of kind of trying to help people figure out how to get into the community. The first thing is finding something that you're passionate about. So you hear from Karma the passion, right? Like it's passion. Find something that you love, something that you really care about, and go out and just start doing it. And you can try something and not like it. That's okay. Find something else. But that's what makes community really great and special, is you have people like Karna who go out and make the world a better place. And so I want everyone to hear Karna's story, because she loves animals and she found something to do with free time that benefits her, benefits the animals, benefits our community in general. And so if everybody was like Karna, this world would be such a better place. Everybody would be a lot happier because you're giving of yourself to something that you deeply care about. So I love animals, but I love children more. Sorry, I love children. And so I spend all of my time focusing in on children, which means that I don't have enough time to focus in on animals. But we have people out there like Karna. If they all kind of came together and said, I want to give back to animals, we wouldn't have as many animals in the Animal Foundation. So for everyone watching who are critical of the Animal Foundation or critical of me or critical of the city, go out and be like Karna. The world would be a better place.
Be like Karna. That's a great
Be
motto.
like Karna.
That's awesome. Now, so can you tell us a little bit about the volunteer program for people who might be watching, who maybe don't think they have enough time in their day? How does this dog walking program work?
So, I mean, even just 2 to 4 hours a week would make a huge difference. I mean, that to me is like 15 to 20 dogs that I'm going to get out that are going to get a walk that day that wouldn't have otherwise. You do have to get certified. You know, there's some classes that you take online and then a class in person, and then you just start walking the easier dogs initially, and then the ones that are, you know, a little more afraid, or, you know, a lot of the dogs are big, so but they're very well trained. The Animal Foundation's behavior team is amazing. They go to training, they go to play group, like they do some wonderful things. But we just need more people to actually volunteer walking the dogs. There's a lot of other things you can volunteer for, which is fabulous at the Animal Foundation, but there's not, you know, enough volunteers to walk the dogs.
And you said you can even walk a few hours a week, that it doesn't have to be a huge commitment. Now, are they walking around the facility? Where exactly do they go walking?
Yes, so all around the facility. It's a beautiful facility, and I mean, you can just go, you know, now it's hotter, so you try to stay in the shade, but it's pretty well shaded. And, you know, I just get a dog out, even just 10 minutes is a big deal. There's some other volunteers that are really great that have a Facebook page to help get the dogs adopted. So they get them out for longer and they play with them and they record a video and they put that on their Facebook page. It's called Adopt a Shelter Dog Las Vegas, and it's so great. There's even employees like Jose, who I love. He, like, on his free time, gets dogs out and walks them and gets videos of them. So, you know, if 10 more people came and volunteered 3 hours on the weekend, that, like, just do the math. That's so many more dogs that would get out and ultimately get adopted, because then they're you know, more well behaved. They've been out. They're not all cooped up.
So that's like hearing that. So what I take away is everyone watching right now, you could be one of those 10 people. Like, and you change the perception of that dog. You change the employee's perception of the world around them, and you find something that is beneficial and meaningful for you personally. Right. So this is what's so important about Karna. It'd be like Karna Day, is find something that you care about and put everything you have into it. The world will just be a better place. If I go and read to children, because that's what makes me happy, and Karna's walking dogs, and somebody else is working with underserved seniors, and somebody else is working with the unhoused population, this is who we're supposed to be. This is what humanity is. And so everyone should take notes of how Karna took something that she's passionate about and gave back.
Yeah, that's great. And you know, you talked about how great it is for the dogs, but what about for yourself? I mean, for those of us who do have animals, it brings something to yourself in order to help. When you're helping an animal, you're kind of receiving that love back. So you get something back too.
Absolutely, you do. Just knowing that, you know, that dog wouldn't have gotten out if I didn't go down and walk him that day, and that means so much. And you know, a lot of times I mostly go on the weekend unless I take a PTO day, which I do that often too. But the dogs that they'll have been there a while, I'll walk the same dog and they'll recognize me, and that's, you know, that's huge. It's like, oh my gosh, yes, I saw you last week. You know, why are you still here? But here, let's get a walk. You know. Right.
There's other volunteers like yourself that are there. I mean, you can always use more, but there are some volunteers there.
Yes, there's some great volunteers. The ones that run that Facebook page, Danny, Ava, Beth, they're awesome. They really care about the dogs. You know, they take more time. I'm on a mission. I want as many out as possible. They take the time to record a video, feature the dog, and it's really helpful to get them adopted.
That's really great. Well, we appreciate all you've done. And Councilman, like you've said again, how do you go about finding what you're passionate about? What can you tell people when they're really not sure where to start when it comes to volunteering?
You try. That's the easiest thing in the world, is you go out and try and not be afraid of failure. So if I were to go out and walk dogs, I might love it. I might not. We'll see. Like, I might try it. I'll go out with Karna once and I'll see. But you have to try new things. And if you don't like it, don't be afraid to say, this isn't my thing, but I still have plenty to give back to this world. And I'm going to go find something that I do like doing and that is beneficial to somebody else around me.
Yeah, and to be fair, I know you love your kids, but you have 2 animals also, so you do.
I walk my dog every morning at 5 o'clock in the
That's
morning.
Great.
It's pitch black outside right now, and we walk around the neighborhood, and it's more beneficial for me because it's calming, it's relaxing. There's nobody else around me. No kids are screaming at me. No constituents are screaming at me. My husband's not screaming at me. So I love walking my dog, and I think I also have a turtle.
Yeah, the turtle
but I don't
really
walk
have to
the
walk
turtle.
that, yeah.
The turtle walks himself. He comes in the house on a pretty regular basis. So I get to love animals, and I get to spend time with children, and grateful for people that love animals and want to spend time with animals, because the world is big and there's lots of things to take care of, lots of people to take care of, lots of animals to take care of.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. And hopefully if you're watching, people will get really invigorated and excited about trying to find their passion. And as you mentioned, the Animal Foundation needs plenty of dog walkers, lots of animals that you can love up on. So reach out to the Animal Foundation for more information. Thank you again for coming. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're going to have to take another break, but stay with us and we'll catch up on everything that's been happening in Ward 1 right after this. Welcome back, everyone. We're taking a look back at what's been happening in Ward 1. Now, Councilman, this summer you stopped by the UNLV School of Nursing's incredible nurse camp. This is for high school students who are interested in nursing or a career in the medical field. I understand you spoke with them. What advice did you give them when you spoke with them?
Well, it's a group of middle and high school students, and so they're from all over the Western United States. The city and my office paid for several of them to come from Ward 1.
Wow.
So the advice is really just follow what you're passionate about. One of the things we talked about is those emergency skills that you get when you're a nurse or you're an EMT or you're a paramedic are fantastic because it really teaches you how to take control of a situation. And so all of those students, they were in the middle of doing CPR training. And what happens if someone were to collapse, hopefully someone in the room understands how to do CPR, but the most important thing to do is to not get nervous, not get overly anxious. You go in, you take control of the situation, because 99% of people don't know how to do that. And so if you can learn that skill, is to come in, take control, be in charge, understand how to work with other people, that skill set translates to every other profession. So whether you become a nurse or anything else, coming in and not getting frantic when something bad happens is a great skill set to carry forward. That's what we talked about.
That's really great. And there was a lot of hands-on activities they had. They learned a lot of different scenarios.
It's like a summer camp.
That's
yeah, it's
great.
awesome. It's for kids or children or youth who may want to be a nurse one day, and getting them some exposure to what that would look like.
That's great. That's great. You're able to sponsor them. It's also back to school. We know that's time. It's that time of year again. You've been really busy with all the Ward 1 schools. You had a breakfast at Garside Junior High School. Then you returned the very next day to celebrate the ribbon cutting of their brand new campus. You also were at Doris Hancock Elementary School. There's just a lot going on at your schools.
You know what's fun about Ward 1 is Ward 1's like the oldest part of the valley. So all the cones, those are all my responsibility. The infrastructure was kind of crumbling. It's all fresh and brand new. That's happened with the schools as well. So Doris Hancock is a brand new school. Garside is a brand new school. Those buildings were torn down and replaced through the Clark County School District over the last several years. And so students entering this year at those two schools are walking into a brand new building. Teachers and the principals are walking into brand new buildings. They've been working really hard over the summer to get those buildings ready for a new class of students coming in. They did a great job. And Garside was fun. Those teachers were brand new, ready to come in, and there was still cracks in the wall and things need to be painted. It's just a brand new building. And Hancock, we were there with a ribbon cutting and saying, welcome teachers, it's time to go.
Wow, everybody was really excited. And you're not done with your schools, right? You have some school supply drives coming up. You're going to be making some stops at the schools again later on this month.
Later on, we're going to be dropping off a bunch of supplies. That's the thing that I've heard from most principals is they just need the basic supplies. Their teachers need supplies so they can not have to worry about it in their classroom.
Yeah, that's great. You also recently attended the Nevada Business Magazine's Women to Watch 2025 event. Huge congratulations to the honorees. There was a very special person that was also honored.
Yeah, Dorian, who used to work in my office. She was the first person that I brought on. And Dorian Stonebarger was recognized by women to watch, and she deserves it. She's now the Deputy Director of the Governor's Office on Economic Development. She's actually partially responsible for the Campus of Hope, who we talked about earlier, as well as a lot of the economic incentives that the state is driving forward. So I think the state's in good hands because Dorian's there.
Yeah, it's great. It was great we were able to have her here at the city for a while before she left to brighter pastures. So, switching gears, we have some upcoming events that are happening in Ward 1. The first one's going to be the Nevada Hand Senior Wellness Festival. That's Friday, September 5th from 10 to 3 at the YMCA. This is a really great event. It has all kinds of health and wellness resources for seniors 55 and above.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure, I think I have the highest concentration of underserved seniors in my ward. There's multiple housing complexes and senior affordable housing complexes in Ward 1, and they're all concentrated in that area. So that's where I spend most of my time, is with those seniors, because kind of like Karna, the seniors don't get a whole lot of time and energy with people. So I try to prioritize my time and energy around working with them. And so I think more of our seniors in our community need to find those avenues to connect with people, and that resource fair is one of those ways to connect.
And it's free, and it's so important for our seniors to get their flu shots, their yearly checkups, like to stay on top of those type of things.
It's very important, and also just to connect with those organizations and make sure they're seen and heard, because they have needs just like everybody else.
Yeah, definitely. Another event you have that's coming up, I'm excited about this one, Cooking with Councilman Knudsen with Las Vegas Fire and Rescue. This is September 9th at Howard Lieber Active Adult Center. You're going to be maybe doing some cooking. Any idea what you're going to be making yet?
I have no idea. I've done it, I think, 4 times. It was Alex, who's on my team. He came up with the idea. So the first time I cooked myself, I made a salad. It's very hard to talk to people and cook at the same time. So we've been bringing in helpers. Last time we did it, we had School of Medicine students. They were 4th-year medical students, and so they came in and made a really healthy salmon dish. And firefighters, I don't know what they're going to make, but I'm grateful that I can sit and learn how to cook with them.
That's great. Now, are you the one that does the cooking at home or no?
I loved cooking before I had children, and now with children, it's not my favorite thing, because they sometimes don't eat, and you put a whole lot of energy into something, and they'll just look at you and say, "I want macaroni and cheese."
Yeah,
so.
Chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggets.
Can't go wrong for
yes,
that.
And I really like cooking, but not for my children.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to a day when I want to cook again, and they actually appreciate it.
This will be nice. Yeah, it'll be good to get some practice with Las Vegas Fire and Rescue on September 9th. That'll be great. Well, it's been another great show. We'll see you again in 6 weeks. I'm sure you'll have a lot going on between now and then.
I really appreciate it. Thanks,
thank
Anna.
you.
Nice job.
Thank you. We always want to hear from you, so if you have something you'd want to share with Councilman Knudsen, you can call him at 702-229-2299. You can also visit the Ward 1 website, subscribe to his newsletter, or email him at bknudsen@lasvegasnevada.gov. Don't miss our next show, September 8th, with Councilwoman Frances Allen Polinsky. And did you know City of Las Vegas TV is now streaming? You can catch all of our shows on YouTube at City of Las Vegas TV. You can also watch us online at lasvegasnevada.gov/connect. Be sure to check out our newsletter, and you can subscribe to that by scanning the QR code in the credits at the end of the show. Thanks again for watching, everyone, and we'll see you next time.